Hello, everyone. You're all very welcome back to Underground Cinema. As you know, we're interviewing as many nominees as we possibly can before the 16th Underground Cinema Film Awards, which take place. They're only a couple of weeks away. They're 3 weeks away on the 15th of November in the Royal Marine Hotel. The interviews have been going great. Actually, this is our biggest one. I haven't had 6 on the one screen before, including myself. I'm looking forward to this one. This was a fantastic short film that came into us. We're big fans of comedy. This really tickled my fancy, hit me on the funny bone, all right, because I could relate to it. There's so much in this. I think Degnan and I are, that sort of age profile. We could relate to an awful lot of this film. This film's called Coming Second, and it's directed by John Francis Brady. You're very welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Yeah,
very happy to be here.
We got a lot, not at all. So we got a lot of the team with us here this morning. So we've got Lauren Corlett, who is also the DOP and the writer as well. We've got Cora Hogan, and we've got Degnan, who's also in it, and we've got Michael de Bruyne. So, guys, thanks a million for joining me. Maybe we'll start off with John and maybe Lauren as well. John, Lauren, maybe can you tell us what this story is all about?
I'll go first, Lauren. You can add in. You can tell you I'm wrong.
Correct you, yeah.
I think overall, plot-wise, it's about a young woman, Abigail, who's raised in a fiercely religious family, and that's kind of how she sees the world. But she's looking to find an actual real human connection, and she's kind of trapped by this family. And this all changes when she's told she's pregnant with the second coming by the fabulous Angel Michael. And through the pregnancy, she's set on a whirlwind journey that takes her at odds with faith, family, and how she sees herself.
Fantastic. Lauren, do you want to add to
that? You took all the words from me, John. That's not fair now. I would say basically the same thing. It's about a girl who's struggling with her faith because of the extreme circumstances that she's been put under, and she has to choose between her family and her faith and try and find a middle ground.
Yeah, I think that's the crux of the story. I'll tell you, I thought it was superb. There were so many things that ticked the boxes for me on this. The production values are superb. This is TV broadcasting quality. It's super. All the performances are excellent. Your casting is so well done. Your production design, Cora, is superb. I have to say, it's superb. I actually watched it again. Yeah, you really got it right, because I was that's around the time when I used to have priests calling to my house, and I used to have friends that lived down the country that I walked in, and the Sacred Heart is hanging on the wall with the red light, and the sitting room was designed the way your sitting room was designed, and the priest calling in for the cup of tea, and everybody was just sort of overly religious back in those days. I thought you captured it so well. It was spot on.
We were quite lucky, as in John has a family friend who, her name's Vivian. She gave us loads of stuff and gave quite a lot of tips as well, because obviously there is a lot to go into it and to get it right. And yeah, we couldn't have done it without her.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine that lived in Wexford in a small town called Campile, and her that sitting room was almost identical. It really was. So I thought it looked superb. Lauren, you've also wrote the script. You're also the director of photography on this one as well. You did an absolutely great job. Can you tell us? And the locations were great. So I thought there's a huge amount of work that's gone into this film, guys. The locations are all great as well. Your home locations, the church, I think it looks super. It's all very well lit. Can you tell us just a little bit about how did you go about getting all those fantastic locations? Just a matter of phoning up a lot of friends and family and pulling every stroke under the book to put this together, I guess.
It was John as well. It was a lot of asking and getting a lot of rejections, and then finding something else, and then getting more rejections, and then very last minute finding something. I mean, we wrecked everything. So as a group, so like going into it, we all knew what our expectations were, which definitely helped, I think. And I think that shows in the final product that we were all on the same page and how to execute everything.
Sorry, John. Yeah,
I think it's funny what Lauren's saying. It's about like running around asking and begging for locations, because the pharmacy that we shot in, we got that because I work across the road from it, and I always the manager, I've served the manager her cortado in the morning like a bajillion times, and it was just like, as I was giving her coffee, I was like, I'm working on something. We're like really stuck for a pharmacy. You wouldn't be able to get us in, maybe, would you? And like every time now I pop in there, I just think of the film. I'm just like looking at the pregnancy test there, or like every single time.
Your casting is superb in this, and you know, I have to tip my hat off to Rebecca Barnes, who's fantastic in it. I absolutely loved Camilla Galvey. I thought she was super in it. I actually know
hilarious.
Someone I know someone like her. Michael Browne is in Degnan, my good friend Degnan was in it. Degnan's a previous Underground Cinema Award winner. You got Paul Murphy. I mean, you really got a great cast ensemble here together. How did you go about casting it, John?
A lot of emails and a lot of obsessing. I can remember I can remember my mom asking me around November, like, John, what are you looking for Christmas? And I was like, a church and a Mrs. Begley. That was like and I could remember it was like, I went through, I remember it was Red Kite Talent, there was a few other casting agencies. I was just going through the YouTubes, and I was going through Instagram and every contact, and I was sending pals script being like, do you guys know anyone that'd be interested in this? But to be fair, some of them came very quickly, because I can remember when I first read the script and taking notes, and I was like, God, Michael Browne would be really good for Mako. And then saying it to Lauren, I'm like, well, actually, kind of wrote it thinking of Michael. So like,
yeah, I read it and I was like, Lauren, is this supposed to be Michael? She was like, yeah.
Thank you again. I will never not thank you enough for that.
Well, if Maycall needs another shot, you know, at least I could. Yeah, exactly.
Degnan, I can remember your name had popped up for something else. It was some other short we've been looking for actors for, and your name had popped up. So I was familiar with yourself. You were kind of high on the list from Mr. Begley, but it was. And Paul Murphy seems to be a bit typecast as a priest, actually. Yeah, he's been in he seems to be like the master of that, actually. So he was.
Well, that was an accident.
Yeah, we didn't realize. I remember that we were watching the short later on, and I was like, "Oh, I saw this short a year ago," and I forgot that Paul was a priest in that. But but the hardest ones for definite was Abigail and Mrs. Begley, and that was so many. There was so many self-tapes and emails and some of the things I went through. I'm pretty sure we found Camilla on a Facebook group. I think there was like a I'm pretty sure it was a Facebook group that we got self from Camilla, and I remember like seeing that and being like, oh my God, we have like if Judi Dench rang up the next day, I'd have been like, sorry, Judy, Camilla sent in this self-tape and we're not there'll be no movement now.
I think we were right going for a more theatrical approach for Mrs. Begley, someone with a theater background, because she's so out there and loud. You need that. I think the hardest cast was Mr. Begley, because I felt bad for whoever had the role, because they'd only get 5 lines, and then that was cut down to like 2. So I felt miserable for Degnan on set. I should have written you fake lines and made you say them and cut them anyway.
Not at all. It was a pleasure, because I mean, it was so amusing, and that's the beauty about student productions. You never know what you're going to get going into it. And Dave, you and I have been around a long time, And every year I like to do at least one production with students, because at the end of the day, they're our future. And this production, I love doing it from the point of view that I found that they were so professional, and whatever the scene was, everything sort of fell into place. They had the right actors for the right roles. Mr. Begley didn't really say an awful lot, but he was there and present. And the odd time I could get Mrs. Begley to sort of just get out of the way, I did get some screen time and stuff like that. But at my age in life, it's about making memories for others as well as for myself, and I enjoy doing it.
What a fantastic ethos, Degnan. I would say you had the hardest part in it, trying to keep a straight face throughout that production. To be honest with
you, you should have seen him when the cameras are off.
Guys, I get a great sense that this was a real team effort. Everybody seems to have got on great. You can tell it by the conversation this morning. It sounds like it was a great fun production. I'm a great believer. Surround yourself with really good people, and the end product is going to be superb. And I think that has happened here. There's some magic in this short film. I would definitely love to see it on TV. I think it will go down enormously well, because I think it'll resonate. It resonated with me, but I think it'll resonate with an awful lot of people right the way around Ireland. It'll take them back to a time in Ireland. And really, it's not that long ago that we did have the priest calling to the house for a cup of tea, who was quite nosy, who was talking about the numbers in the. I thought that's brilliant writing, Lauren. All he cares about is the numbers in the church, and probably the amount of money that he can collect on a Saturday or a Sunday. He plays it really well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think writing for all the characters was quite difficult, because I didn't want to make fun of religion. I wanted to just point out the absurdities of different characters you can find inside of, in particular, Catholicism. The irony is I didn't grow up Catholic, but I moved into a very Catholic area when I was a teenager. So I was kind of writing from an outsider's perspective. But it's good to hear that I captured that. That was my biggest fear.
Yeah. And also Degnan's right as well. And I think it's very admirable for any actor to give their time towards a student film. And you see it with the likes of say Aidan Gillen and Brendan Gleeson and Brian Gleeson and Peter Coonan, and there's a lot of well-established actors over the years that they're doing a huge amount of work, but they do take time out to give a little back. And I think that's really important, not to forget where you came from. I mean, some of these people started off with student films and they've worked their way up. Student films are very, very important. They're our future. And I think it's great actors like Degnan and other well-established actors give their time to go back to where it all began, when they were young and when they were students also. It's really important. So well done, Degnan. Just with regard to the festival starting now at the moment, this is on the run at the moment. How's it going down at the moment throughout the country, or indeed has it been screened abroad? It'd be interesting to hear about that. Has it been screened maybe in the UK or the States or anything like that? Are the audiences getting it?
We haven't gone international yet with it, but one that I'm very interested in first in the next few months. We're kind of waiting to hear back from a few things. I'm very interested in getting it into Catalyst Festival. I think as you were saying that it would resonate with people that have had these lived experiences. I'd really, really love to get it to that festival, because I think it's a festival that really focuses on like underheard voices or like communal experiences. That's where I'd love to get it to. But this has been we were also in Louth, which was really nice, because that was kind of that's our local festival. And I think afterwards, a lot of people were saying to me that they recognized wee spots in it, because there was a few local spots in Dundalk we were filming in, and that was really nice about it. So when I was chatting to people about that was really good. But it's we're still in the early legs, I think, of the festival circuit. But I would love to get it to Catalyst. That's one that I'm really, really, really hoping for. And any comedy, I think it fits into comedy very well. I'd love to get into anything in the UK comedy wise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it would do. I think it would go down quite well. I would imagine some of the American film festivals as well. You know, maybe the film festivals around Boston in particular. This would go down really well. Also, I was just wondering. I mean, we're all laughing and joking here, and it all sounds like it was great fun. But Michael, what do you think were the biggest challenges? I'm sure there were challenges on this. It wasn't plain sailing at all.
Yeah, call us out.
I mean, the biggest
You've been
challenge for
even
me was
harboring these
actually
secrets.
finding the location was the biggest challenge, to be fair. I'm gonna echo what Degnan said. I've worked with this crowd before this film, and I loved it. And when I got the email from John asking me if I'd come back and do this, I was like, of course. There was no doubt in my mind. Lauren's script was fantastic. Like there was so much depth to it when you started reading into the different characters. I think the biggest challenge for me was trying to not drop the sandwich. You'll have to watch it to find out what I mean there, but yeah, it's keeping the sandwich in the mouth.
Hardly stomaching it was the hard part. I would hardly call that a sandwich.
Yeah,
there was actually a lot of sandwiches throughout the film. Actually, when you
there is it was an on-running joke, and it was never acknowledged.
But speaking of the sandwich, I didn't expect you to eat it after 4 hours of production.
It was just like what, bread and butter. It was
there was nothing in it.
Crafty
There
was
was
not
nothing in
existent.
The edit is very sharp in it, and also your score is really good. Maybe John, can you tell us a little bit about that?
But the edit was actually quite an experience, because we started off at 30 minutes, our first cut. And I think that is just like a testament to how much we were all collaborating. I think there was so many ideas being thrown in. And I also think it was a very, very, very dense script. I think I was saying that from day one to Lauren. This was just really dense. So it makes sense that you then had to play around a bit in production, and then in post-production refine it. But I think pace was the key when we got into the edit, that like there was a lot of dialogue and a lot of movements throughout the scenes. They could just be much quicker. It was all about just like zooming through a scene, because it was the speed at which you cut to reaction that was mostly getting us the jokes. There was one or two scenes as well I remember having to cut that were a bit of a heartbreak. I remember we did a test screening during the edit, actually, because there was so many different directions we could go that we were all too close to it. So we'd all be having different opinions on which things we should include, and should we focus more, because there is a sort of a flow of comedy and drama throughout it, and there was versions that were like balls to the wall comedy, there were versions that were slower and more dramatic. And I remember having to do that test screening, and it opened up the doors, because we could just get in there and see, are they laughing? Are they like into it? Are they leaning back? Are they like checking their watch? And it was just, like, honestly, I think that should be central to anyone's process. After doing them, I was like, this is just fantastic, because it just cuts through the fat. You have very, very clear answers as to what is working and what's not. And the music was really good, because I can remember it was again an issue where we felt it was too long. We were trying to smooth things out, and we landed on there's a sort of montage during the pharmacy when Abigail is running to get the pregnancy test, and you kind of collide a few different scenes together with this sort of like jazzy score, and it gets very fast paced. And I can remember we didn't plan for that at all. We intended to have all these moments be separate scenes, but that was one of my favorite moments in the edit, because we were kind of pushing ourselves into a corner. We were like, well, it's completely dependent on the music. We can make it a lovely cut, but the music is what's selling that. And I remember just really, really enjoying that, sitting down with the composer, and he had so many ideas. And he was like, you have to watch Punch Drunk Love. You have to watch Saturday Night. You have to watch all these films, John, because this is what we're going to, because like, I had like said, I thought like a jazzy vibe would really make sense. And he was just like grabbing it, like so excited about it. And that's the best thing in the world. If you can engage with someone about an idea, they're excited about it, and they elevate what you're talking about. And that was what the whole process of our edit and our music was. It was I'd come in thinking, I think we could do this, we could try that, and then, John, what are you talking about? No, we gotta go way further. I can remember with the titles being like, I think it'd be really cool if we had like devil horns and like an angel with like it'd be a really small thing, and then everyone would be like, no, John, it has to move, John. And then we're like in the process of figuring out like the graphics for the text and how it's going to be. But it was just fantastic because we'd all get so excited by the ideas. The only issue is every now and then our wonderful AD Hope would have to be like, guys, like we do not have a million hours in the day. Like we need to actually we need to land on an idea. That was I wish for anything in the end it would have been a little more time. But it was I really enjoyed that whole process. You and
Rebecca, there's two Rebeccas, I should say. We've got our actress and our editor. We're married to the edit suite. You just, I think you slept in there. I mean, it was from 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. It was crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. We had a guest lecturer, and they were having a look at some of our cuts, and he said like, okay, all of the other classes have just had like cut 1 and cut 2, and we were trying to figure out what our current cut was. There was like 20, and we kind of lost our minds. Like, I don't know, try this cut, or Asher, give this one a go. And we hadn't named any of the cuts. We were just doing so much of it. But I don't regret it at all, because someone would like say something and they'd be like, well, have you not tried like just focusing on the medium here and then maybe like using less shots, because maybe that was totally that. But no, we tried that. Don't go down that road again. Like, we landed
we
here
had
for
someone
a reason.
come in and they're like, well, why don't you try A, B, and C? And we were like, we did, and we had test screenings and it didn't work.
Yeah. So we left no stone. I think we left no stone uncovered, and there was a lot of stepping outside to grab sugar and then running back in to go back to the edit. I think that was a lot of the routine.
You got it down to a really good running time. 15 minutes is a really good magic number. It works well, for an audience as well, especially when it comes to comedy. You watch most comedies nowadays; they're all around the 90-minute mark, thereabouts. From a festival point of view, it's a good running time as well. It fits in perfectly into a program, and I think it's a great. Rebecca Browne was your editor, and I think she did a super job. I can imagine if this was 30 minutes, there would have been a lot of discussions and debates and arguments behind the scenes to get it down to 15 minutes. But I think you nailed it. I also love the idea of what you said, and I've done it myself, of a test screening. Now I produced a feature film a couple of years ago. Now it's a drama, and when I first saw the edit, I was unhappy with it. I felt there were issues all over the place. I was the producer. The director didn't see it that way. He saw it, a couple of issues here and there, but more or less the storyline was okay. There was a lot. I won't say arguing. There was a lot of debate going on behind the scenes, and we came up with the idea of a test screening. I'm being very polite here. We came up with the idea of a test screening where we said, look, we'll put it on in the Royal Marine Hotel in Geraghty. What we'll do is we'll invite our peers. So we picked out some brilliant directors that we knew, the likes of Terry McMahon and Brian O'Malley and Brian O'Neill. There were a lot of great directors at the time, and writers and cinematographers. We brought them all down to watch it, and we gave them a questionnaire to fill in with very, very straightforward questions. Did you think? Could you follow the story? Could do you think it needs a cut here and there? And we got some really good constructive, not destructive feedback back. Both of us took it on board, and when we went back into the edit suite, that film came out great, and it ended up being nominated for an IFTA. So I think a test screening, I think that's a really, really great idea. That's where you get, because you're so close to it. You're so close to
exactly.
it. It's great to hear somebody else's opinion that's not connected in any way, shape, or form to it. And if you pick the right people, you'll always get constructive criticism and not destructive criticism.
I think
it's a hard process. I was just saying it's a hard process. Oh, sorry. You've spoken enough, John. We don't need you anymore.
There was a consistent thing throughout the shoot of me constantly having more to say. So we're right back to it. But I think that with test screenings as well, it's really good. You can know what is useful and what's not, because sometimes someone says something that you all disagree on, and that kind of puts you all on the right road. Like, you're like, oh, well, we all disagree on that. Cool. Well, if we all disagree, then we know we're going to move forward with that, because I think if everyone's confident in something, it's half the battle. I think that's something. And then if you all agree with it, then it's great. I think it just puts everyone on the same page.
Yeah, I think as well, and this would be coming from a film festival point of view and a film programmer. You know, when we have the film festival on in Geraghty, I'm at the back of the room. I've already seen these films a couple of times, so I like to sit at the back of the room. So I'm watching the audience from behind, so I can tell if an audience is enjoying the film just from watching them from behind. And I also think that you'd have directors in watching their films probably for the very first time on a big screen, and writers, and afterwards you'll have them coming out saying, oh, and they always do, I wish I had done this different, or I wish I had tried that, or, you know, if you had done a test screening, maybe you wouldn't be actually saying this at all. So I think there are great benefits to a test screening before you actually screen your film to a big audience, to a live audience. So I'm a great believer in it. Guys, just tell me before we finish up, what are you all doing? And maybe we'll start with the production team first, and then we'll hit the actors and see what they're up to. So, anything in the pipeline, John?
Well, for myself, I finished up with a short fairly recently, Conversations with Myself, and that's a drama about a lavender marriage, but like a fake marriage between a gay man and an asexual woman. And it's about a breakdown at the 40th birthday party of the man, and it's about him sort of leaving the marriage and trying to find his own way, or getting trapped in it again. And that's something I'm really excited to get out there. And then beyond that, I'm just, doing a lot of writing, which is really, really nice to decide, because I felt during the process of this film, it was like very, very heavy with all of the work for it. And similarly, I was working on Conversation Myself at the same time. And it's really nice now to have the space to just do the routine of just getting a page a day or getting a scene a day. It's really, really nice. That's where I'm at.
Great. Lauren?
I don't think I'm as interesting. I haven't really been working on any like productions. I've been developing projects in the background for writing. One of them is including the character Maycall. And another is something I've worked on for the past 4 years, which is like I want to have a focus, because I don't think that Irish folklore and Irish mythology gets enough attention. Cora will know about this. Doesn't get enough attention in
I need to talk
Ireland
to you
in
in a
its
while,
film and television.
Lauren. So,
so I want to create something that's using Irish mythology and folklore, because it's unfortunately it is a medium that is being lost because it was done in oral tradition. It was never written down. So I have been reading so many books and trying to timeline things so I can come up with a narrative. Yeah,
that's fantastic, Lauren. I'm very much involved with the Megafort Sci-Fi Film Festival down in Portmagee in Kerry, and they have a fantasy. Last year we included a fantasy category as well, and it's to try and encourage Irish mythology. Yeah, it's a book about Ireland. So I'd be really keen to see what you had for us in the near future. I'm really
that's fantastic.
Yeah, Rob Kelly.
I do think it's a dying medium.
Yeah, definitely. We have some brilliant, you know, if you remember some of the stories that we learned at school, like Oisin and Tiernan, and a lot of the Irish fables. And I'd love to see. I don't think they've even been tapped into, to be honest with you.
No, not at all.
No, they have not.
I've done my research. It is not touched, and I don't know why. It's like it's right there.
Well, I told you, the Children of Laird. There's so many great Irish fables. You know, Cora, you sound that you'd love to do something like that as well. That'd be a great challenge for a production designer.
Yeah, what Lauren's working on is actually, it was a school project from about 4 years ago. Like I think even John's been on this at some point. Like most of us have been working on this, but yeah, the idea was originally Lauren and I's. So
that sounds great.
just waiting for Lauren to finish a bit of the research before we get into
It's a lot of books, Cora.
It's a
so
lot of
much
books. Yeah, it's a lot of books.
Michael, what anything in the pipeline?
I've just wrapped on a feature film down in West Cork, so that will be sometime next year, I believe. And I'm on stage. I'm doing the Drama League of Ireland circuit, the One
Brilliant.
Act Festival for the next 2 months. And then
What's the play, Michael? What's the play?
The play is Lone Star by James
Oh,
McClure.
brilliant play. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I've seen
Great
it a number
fun.
of times.
Yeah, I'm Cletus in it. If you remember that
Excellent.
character.
I do. We used to host the One Night Drama Festival in Dollery many years ago, back in the 90s. So I'm very familiar with the One Night Drama Festival circuit.
Oh, it's great. I love it, going out just with friends and just putting on stuff just for fun, really, more or less. And obviously awards, but no, just for the fun.
Well, you're in a really great play. And Degnan, what are you up to at the moment? What's with the big beard there?
Oh, well, the big beard is sort of normal for this time of the year for the last 3 years. So since COVID, I think COVID all gave us all a sort of a kick in the teeth and a kick in the pants, whereby, it stopped production for nearly 2 years, 3 years for some. And we sort of went into a malaise of depression and stuff like that. So this year is the first year that I've actually come back and start doing short films, and I have one feature film under my belt for this year, and hopefully another one next year. Now, I'm blessed insofar as I have good beard growth. So I shaved this off in January and then let it grow naturally for the year. So in January, I was short. This time of the year, I'm doing Santa Claus, believe it or not. I have some corporate clients, so I do the corporate gig for them. And last year and this year, I'm with Elftown in Galway and Dublin. So I travel. I'm mostly based in Galway. So for the last 2 weeks in November and the 3 or 4 weeks that's left in December. So from that point of view, I enjoy that. It is acting in a smaller scale. And so long as the kids keep the bugs away from me and wipe their noses before they come in, I'll survive the season. Last year, I wasn't so lucky, and I got a very bad dose. And I could see it coming, this green stuff coming out of their nose when they come in to see me. It's one of the pros of being a lovely granddad type who does Santa Claus and tries to do it well. So apart from that, hopefully next year I'll have one feature and 2 or 3 shorts under my belt. That's what I'm aiming for anyway.
That's all great. Listen, guys, I was delighted to have a chat with you this morning. You really brightened up my morning, because I got to be going into another interview very shortly, and it's very, very dark. So I'm going to have to switch personalities very shortly.
Yeah, sorry about that. You should have done them the other way around. Yeah.
Listen, I think it's a top-class film. I really do. I think it's absolutely superb. I think it's going to do well on the festival circuit. I think internationally, I think this is a real humdinger, to be honest with you. I can't wait to hear. It's got a couple of years of life as well, so I can't wait to hear. I'll be keeping an eye out on its festival journey. Congratulations on the nomination as well. It's fantastic. I think this is going to be one of our biggest awards ceremonies so far. So congratulations on the the nomination. It's thoroughly well deserved. And thanks for joining me today.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for
You're more than welcome.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.